everyone. This is Dave Dubeau here with another episode of the Property Profits Real Estate Podcast. Today's spotlight interview is with Mr. Ed Matthews from the CTREIA, Real Estate Investment Association in Connecticut. And Ed, how are you doing this fine day?
I'm doing great, Dave. Thanks so much for your time today.
My pleasure. Thanks for joining us. So, Ed, why don't you tell us a little bit about your club, where you guys are located, what you focus on, how long you've been around, kind of like a little bit of information around your membership, that sort of thing.
Yeah, you bet. So we're the fifth largest REIA in the country, wow. Just over 1,000 members. Nice. We have about 12,000 folks that come in and out of our world on a monthly basis. We're based in Wethersfield, Connecticut, which is basically right in the middle of the state. And we have chapters in Fairfield County as well as New London County. So we basically cover the whole state. And we've been around since, I believe, 2006. So we're just about to enjoy our 16th year of being. So it's been a fun run.
That's fantastic. Now, Ed, do you guys, I would imagine you kind of cover all things real estate, but is there something that your members kind of can tend to gravitate towards more, or do you kind of serve all different kinds of real estate investors?
So I would put them probably into, the three major buckets of wholesalers, flippers / rehabbers, as well as multifamily investors. Mm-hmm. And so what we bring to the table, initially we were started as a networking organization, and that kind of grew into mentoring, being able to, guys like me and my partners, Ron and Rich and Mark, and our predecessors, Linda and Joanne and Lou, we wanted to pay it forward. And so we would start to mentor and have continued to mentor new and aspiring real estate investors. We call them the dreamers, and help them get their first or next property. So we do a lot of different things across those three kind of columns. From the networking that is our history to a coaching program. We've recently launched an insurance company as well as a funding company to help with commercial loans on the money side and insurance products that are investor based on the asset protection side. So we do quite a bit. We run pretty hard, and our members have seemed to respond. We did. COVID was an interesting time for us.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that. How did that whole little hiccup affect your club, and what did you guys do to adjust to it?
So it was a blessing and a curse, right? The curse part was obviously a global pandemic, and it was terrifying, and the health aspects and all the things that came from that. The blessing part actually is we figured out how to create a digital organization in a matter of about a week and a half. And so, as our CEO, Ron, says, it's very difficult to be in the meeting business when you can't meet.
Yeah.
And so, we fully embraced the digital world. And, fortunately, a few of us had a bit of a technology background. So we were able to not only keep our members' appetites for real estate information satiated, but we actually grew our membership over that time as well, which was really exciting.
Very, very nice.
Yeah.
So blessing and curse, definitely. What kind of things have you guys done, or what kind of meetings do you guys hold? How often do you hold them? I understand you've got three different branches of CTREIA. How does that kind of work? What is your typical monthly schedule kind of look like?
So it's getting more interesting by the day, right? So typically we have a monthly meeting here in Central Connecticut that is the third Monday. We do the third Tuesday for Fairfield County, and we're actually launching New London County in a little bit. But so those are the primary meetings, and then throughout the month we do coaching meetings. We're doing workshops. In fact, we do a kind of an introductory workshop basically every Wednesday night at our training center in Wethersfield to help with, helping people figure out, is real estate investing for you? And so we'll kind of take them through at a high level what the opportunities are that we see here in Connecticut and frankly elsewhere. Some of us, myself included, invest out of state as well. So there are those. And then also we'll bring in speakers. So folks from the commercial mortgage, insurance, as well as accounting, legal experts. And so, we're trying to fill our calendar and serve our membership so that, when someone raises their hand and says, I'm ready, we've got quite a bit of resources that they can
Yeah, you've got a
access.
whole menu available of different
Exactly.
experts and resources. That's
Exactly.
fantastic. Kind of
Yeah.
that's one of the, as I'm interviewing other directors from other REIAs all across the country, that's kind of the big, one of the huge benefits of a REIA is having a one-stop shop for your local investors. You can create
Absolutely.
your power team pretty much instantaneously. You can vet people. You can ask for recommendations, other folks that are actively doing what you're doing or want to do. It just saves so much time, effort, and energy. That's for sure.
Without a doubt. I mean, in attending one meeting, you can meet your attorney, your accountant, the next contractor you're going to be working with. You can then speak to 2 or 3 people at that meeting who have already, known and worked with the people that you're currently vetting. So you're spot on. And obviously, you can find partners there. You can find mentors there. It's a tremendous opportunity.
Yeah, most definitely. So Ed, how long have you been part of the CTREIA? How long have you been a member and then actively involved in the organization, actually?
So I go back as a member probably about 10 years. And so I was kind of flittering in and out of the universe when Linda and Joanne were running it. And, Linda Baumgarten has been just an unbelievably generous mentor to me over the years. And then back in 2018, Linda and Joanne kind of quietly made it known to my partner, Ron, that they were thinking about retiring. It had been, almost more than a decade, and it's a lot of work, right? And so Ron then built the team, and Mark Valenti and I joined, and then our latest partner, Rich Brown, joined about 6-8 months ago.
Nice.
So,
nice.
Yeah.
Now, one of the things I always like to ask people on these interviews is, what have been some of the, because I always want to encourage people that are part of other REIAs or thinking about getting into REIAs, not just to be a passive member, but to take a more active role in their club or their association or their meetup or what have you. What has been some of the benefits for you taking that more active role? What kind of benefits have you seen from that, stepping up as a leader?
In terms of benefits for me or benefits for the other people?
No, benefits for you. Benefits for you. Or what do you see as benefits for people to take a more active role within their REIA?
I got to tell you, I have been very fortunate to have met both, mostly within CTREIA, but also outside, some really generous people who have kind of recognized that I needed help and I wasn't the smartest person in the room, and that took pity upon me in some cases and threw an arm around me, and others, saw that I needed a little bit of guidance. And so, whether it's Ron Faraci being one of them, right? When Ron and I met, I was just trying to figure out how to move from being a rehabber to a multifamily owner. And, his tutelage is what really got me involved. So I find that for me, being able to give back to folks when I'm, we're all reading the same book, but I may be a couple of chapters ahead of you.
Right.
And, thank you. And so I'm able to help those folks when they come to me and say, hey, how would you handle this deal? I mean, yesterday I was talking with a guy that I've been working with, Nick, and, absolutely brilliant, really high energy guy, just wants to get it done. And, he's a really impressive guy. And, we talked about a couple of different deals, and, one of them we talked through and he found a winner. And, we talked through the, 2 or 3 ways that he can get this to profitability, and even a couple exit strategies if he decides to sell it. And then there was one. So in the state of Connecticut, we had a few years ago a really big problem with foundations crumbling. And so the government's involved, and there's a big insurance pool, and it's really become a disaster. And he found one of those properties. And we talked about the 97 ways that could go sideways on him. And if he's okay with those 97 ways, do the deal. But if you're not, don't. And if it were me, I'd be running the other way. Yeah. But yeah, no, it's just tremendously gratifying to be able to pay it forward. And, with the hope that those folks do it for somebody else, 5-10 years down the road.
Yeah, very, very, very good. So what else is I going to ask you here, Ed? so we talked about the pandemic, and I guess, here's what I want to ask. So I would imagine with the size of your organization and the reach that you guys have you got a lot of people, now that you've got the whole Zoom thing completely dialed in, do you have a lot of people from out of state now attending your meetings and kind of finding out more about the local market that way?
So we do definitely see some people from Westchester County and Long Island. We've created just a really strong relationship with Melissa Shea and her team over in Long Island. And we're now starting to see folks from Southern Massachusetts coming our way as well. And so that is really interesting because, from a market perspective, even though say a Hartford and a Springfield, Mass are only 30 miles apart, they're diametrically different markets. And so for a whole bunch of different reasons, just the activity of the investor community, the laws and costs of doing business in the different states and a whole bunch of other reasons. But we're definitely starting to see that. Not as much from Rhode Island into Connecticut, but like I said, we're pretty early on with our rollout of New London County. So.
Oh, that's wonderful.
Yeah.
Well, Ed, it sounds like you guys have got great things going, and hats off to you for making that pivot so quickly and switching to this new reality that we're all in. And are you guys going to be kind of moving ahead? Are you going to be doing live events again? Are you doing live events? Are you they're going to be hybrid? What are your plans for 2022?
Yeah, great question. So we are still actively running our meetings. We started meeting live again in June. That's when Connecticut started to lift. Fortunately, we live in Connecticut, and it's the most highly vaccinated state, and our rates are probably the lowest in the country. Separate from the politics part of it, it's just fact, right? And so we started meeting in June. We also re-engaged our live coaching in June, and then we are now in the process of also rolling out video versions of that training. And we're going to be launching an affiliate program to work with all the other REIAs who are interested in helping their members also mentor and coach their members up so that they too can engage in this wonderful game.
Yeah, excellent. So Ed, if people want to find out more about the CTREIA and what you guys are up to, and perhaps attend a meeting or in person or online, what should they do?
Yeah. So best way to get a hold of us is through our website, CTREIA.com, CTREIA.com. You can also call our office, 860-265-4414. Give us a call, and we're more than happy to help you in any way we can.
Awesome. Ed, it's been a real pleasure. Thank you very much for your insights.
Yeah, my pleasure. Thanks, Dave.
All right, everybody, take care. We'll see you on the next episode. Thanks for tuning into this special Spotlight episode. Now, if you're a real estate investor and you're looking to find private money partners and raise capital for your deals, then check out moneypartnerformula.com. You get a free copy of my book. You can find out how to raise 6 figures or more in 6 weeks or less. Again, that's moneypartnerformula.com.